Hi everybody, this is Lady Sweetheart and welcome to my brand new Let's Play. So this one is called Of Magic and Mystery, which you probably saw in the title. So in this Let's Play, we are going to be following Amara here, as well as Slade, the other member of this household, and little Merlin, who is Amara's familiar. And obviously, you can probably figure it out, but they are both spellcasters. So if you watched the first episode of my series Aftershock, that A+ Life and this are all connected. And most of you, I think, who are watching this probably watched those, but if you didn't, or you're new to my channel, have no fear because I'm going to just give you a little backstory about the two characters that we're going to be following in this series. So first of all, we have Amara, and I'm going to try to keep her backstory brief. I say try because the truth of it is I have been following Amara since she was born, because Amara is actually the daughter of my Black Widow sim, Haven, who happens to be in prison right now. And her father was Victor Fang. I say was because as part of the Black Widow challenge, sadly, Amara's father was murdered by her own mother. And the whole arc of this, from Amara's point of view, is she is trying to become a powerful enough spellcaster and trying to build her skill in Untamed magic enough to the point where she can revive her dead father, who just so happens to be buried right out here. So even though neither of Amara's parents were spellcasters, the way I have it in my game is Sims could still be born as spellcasters if someone in their family line was a spellcaster. And Amara found out that she gets her spellcasting from her father's side because in Victor's family, something he never believed until Amara came along, way back in the family tree, there was said to be this very powerful witch. And the long and short of it is when Amara was a little girl, her abilities started to be very clear. And actually, they really kind of started to become clear when she was a toddler a little bit. But when she became a child, she started to get the ability to call forth the ghost of her dad. And she didn't really know how she was doing it, but she was able to do it. And so that's when it got explained to her by her father that she must be a witch, because that seemed to be the only reasonable explanation of why she'd be able to do that. And of course, that family legend came back to her father's mind when he was able to see what his daughter was able to do. So Amara does have two brothers and two sisters from her mother. Her father had no other children. So you will see in Amara's traits, she does have the ancient bloodline trait because the witch that she is descended from was extremely powerful, and so she learns and picks up magic very easily. She currently is the adept rank, moving towards becoming a master spellcaster, and that's without me really being able to just focus solely on her being a spellcaster. So another really important thing to know about Amara is Amara was actually the one who caught her mother murdering her husbands. Amara was never close to her mom. She always got this really bad feeling about her mom. She could just sense the death surrounding her mother because of the things she had done. And that has gone on since she was born, basically. So needless to say, she has a pretty strained relationship with her mother, especially now that she knows that she's the one that killed her beloved dad. So Amara's Sims traits are genius, perfectionist, and bookworm. Everything else you see is from my mods that kind of add a little bit of extra personality. But anyway, yeah, so Amara is very studious. She's very intellectual. In fact, if it weren't for this whole journey of Amara wanting to bring back her father, Amara would have been a perfect sim to send to university. But she just has way too much on her plate, trying to improve her rank as a spellcaster and bringing her dad back. So I think that covers all of the main points about Amara. So let's move on to Slade, who is here talking to the ghost of his mother. So Slade is Amara's boyfriend. They actually haven't been a couple for too long. They met when they were still in high school. Slade is actually a little bit older than Amara. He's actually the same age as Amara's older sister, Faith. Basically what happened was Faith, her older sister kind of set her sights on Slade and wanted to, I think, date him. But Slade actually seemed a lot more interested in talking to Amara, who was actually at the time in his math class, because even though Amara is younger, like I said, she is a genius and she was always very good at math, especially. And basically, they kind of developed a friendship from that. She started to tutor Slade in math because, like Amara, Slade actually is really interested in reading and books. But I think math must have been a little bit more of a struggle for him. Well, anyway, as their friendship kind of progressed, Amara, being the powerful witch that she is, sensed that Slade was a spellcaster. Slade, however, did not know that he was a spellcaster. And basically, Amara just one day made a comment about being a spellcaster. And Slade was kind of like, what? Because he did not know. And Amara assumed that he did know that he was a spellcaster. So she started taking him to the realm. And as they became friends, it became pretty clear that they both had developed some pretty strong feelings for each other. So that's kind of their history. Slade himself, obviously his mother is dead because she's a ghost. She died when he was a little boy. So he was a child when his mom died. Amara was a toddler when her father died. So they both also have this bond of having lost a parent. And Slade was very close to his mother, and he doesn't really know why she died. We actually saw in the Black Widow series, Slade being able to talk to Bethany here after Amara Necro called her and trying to get some answers about her death and about him being a spellcaster, but she really wasn't giving him anything, and she just basically told him it was too dangerous to give him that information. Slade's father is alive, and up until now, he was living with his dad, but his dad is a businessman, very wealthy, but he travels a lot. And so Slade basically kind of grew up on his own after his mom died. He spent a lot of time alone. He kind of had this reputation as a bad boy because, living alone, he kind of did what he wanted. I think he went to a lot of parties and things like that. But deep down, Slade's really not like that at all. Like I said, he's actually into books. In fact, I think that one of his traits is a bookworm. Yeah, so Slade does have the bookworm trait, the loner trait, and the self-assured trait. He also has a weak bloodline. So this whole journey from Slade's side of things is he wants to find out more about his spellcaster heritage. Amara was able to tell him his dad was not a spellcaster because she can sense it. That's how she found out about Slade. But as I pointed out in my series, anyone can be born a spellcaster if it's in their family line, even if neither of their parents are. So Slade is trying to find out more about his magical ancestry and also figure out what happened to his mother. And of course, along with all of that, we're also going to be following their relationship because, as I said, they haven't been together too awfully long, but as you can see from their relationship bar, they're pretty much in love. So I'm also going to go ahead and show you the house that they are living in. I actually built this house, and I'm not the greatest builder. If you've watched me for a while, you know this, but I have to say, I think I'm kind of proud, you guys, about this house. So since both Amara and Slade have wealthy families, I didn't have to worry about money with this house, which was nice. The only thing that I did not build with this house was this pond here. So this pond that you see out front, I actually got that as a room from the gallery. And I'm going to try to remember to put the name of the creator in the comment below in case you want to get it for your game. But yeah, everything else I actually built. So anyway, obviously this is the front of the house. I tried to, kind of give it almost like a cabin in the woods type of feel because, we're in Glimmerbrook, so that really fits in well. I didn't give it much of a magical, realm of magic type feel. I more went with the whole nature side of things because in my mind, Amara is probably a huge fan of anything in nature, partly because she's a spellcaster, but also just because, it just suits Amara, I think. As you go in the door, there's just this little entryway, and if you go this way, there is a bathroom, and then if you turn over here, you're gonna see stuff from Merlin, Amara's cat, too, as we go. So this kind of leads over here into the kitchen area. There's also a back door here that leads out to the back patio. And this here where Bethany the ghost is eating food is the dining room area. I just tried to make it really homey and comfy because I feel like that's what their style would be. You're gonna notice lots of bookshelves in the house because, like I said, they're both bookworms, so I figure they're gonna be doing a lot of reading. So this wood stove is custom content, and oh my goodness, how homey does this make the whole room seem? I really wish we had wood stoves in the game that was not CC. Like, honestly, building this house, I found myself wishing we would get a farming pack, and that's something I never thought I would say. And then this here is the kitchen. So again, just try to kind of stick with that same theme. And then if you go through this way, through the entryway, you do enter the living room area here. So again, I just try to go for those like cabiny, like cozy type of vibes with some nature elements added in there. And then if you go through this door, this is the bedroom. There's lots of purple because that's actually Amara's favorite color. And technically Amara did live here first, and then she invited Slade to move in with her. And then there is an ensuite right over here. If you go through this door, through the bedroom, I love this bathroom. As you can probably tell, there is a lot of custom content in here, but I don't know. It gives me this zen feeling. I love it. And then at the back of the house is just this little, I don't want to call it a shrine, but let's say a memorial area with the graves of their parents. So this is where Victor lies, and this is where Bethany lies. And then I love that they're sitting on this little swing here, even though it doesn't actually swing. It's so cute. And then they do have a money tree planted here, just because I really didn't want them to work, because I want to focus on them doing magic. And I figured with Amara being as powerful as she is and the connection to nature, she probably could plant a money tree. And then this here is the back deck area, you know, nothing too fancy. So anyway, that is Amara and Slade. That is the house. Hopefully you are excited about this. Hopefully you like the house. Like I said, I'm not much of a builder, and I actually really like this house. So I'm kind of proud of myself for being able to build it. Okay, so it is like 6:30 in the morning. I'm finally sending these two to bed. But I figure it makes sense for them to be on a nocturnal schedule. So Slade is just kind of reassuring Amara. Basically, she's a little nervous about sleeping in the same bed with him. Basically, these two, they've never woohooed. Amara's a pretty innocent and reserved type of sim. So I think she's just a little bit nervous about the whole thing. And I think part of it is because Amara is so head over heels for Slade. Amara is so sweet and innocent. Sometimes it's hard to believe she is the daughter of a Black Widow. Not to mention, this whole interaction kind of gives us a chance to look at Slade and his skivvies here. Which, let's face it, isn't a bad thing. Okay, it's now 8 in the morning. It's time to stop pixel thirsting and send these two lovebirds to bed. This is totally the type of morning, though, where you would just want to lay in bed. I mean, look at it outside. Okay, well, I will see you later when something a little bit more exciting happens. So it's the next day, well, evening, really, and Samson came over to visit with Amara. Probably Asher and Faith are already driving him nuts. Just a guess. Also, what's wrong with Slade? Slade, you've never talked to Samson? Like, how is that possible? Also, you should definitely not be anxious around Samson. He's like the easiest person in the world to get along with. So if you're new, Samson is actually Amara's younger brother. She has one older brother and two younger brothers. So this is the oldest of the two younger brothers. And he's currently living in Delsel Valley with their sister Faith and their younger brother Asher. And that's what I'm focusing on in my Aftershock series. But it is 7:30, so Samson, I am sorry, but I want to send these two to the realm. so that they can train, because one of the biggest things is we need to get their spellcasting abilities a lot higher. You know, like I said, we want to get Amara to the point where she can bring her father back, who you haven't seen yet, which I think is interesting. All right, so they're at the realm. We are going to see if we can't find some of the sages, because that's really the best way for them to learn the magic. And Slade here is only an apprentice. He barely has any magic, which I don't think is right, because when I wasn't playing with Slade and I was playing with Amara, I did have them duel and stuff sometimes. So I guess I can't. I was going to say, I think the bar should be in here somewhere, which it looks like it just went up, I guess, just from him riding his broom. So we definitely need to get Amara learning Untamed magic. And as you can see from the bar above his head, Amara has a pretty good friendship with Morgan already, because she's already worked with him so much. Slade, why don't you come and introduce yourself to this sage? Because at this point, I am not so concerned with what kind of magic Slade learns, but I just want him to rank up a little bit more. They do both have the spellcraft and sorcery aspiration. I thought that was only appropriate since they're both on a magic-oriented journey here. So, okay, so Slade is introducing himself to, what's this person's name? Conrad. I did give Morgan a different hairdo just so he fit in with the universe a little bit better, because obviously we use alpha hair in this one. So yeah, it just kind of looks out of place when they don't. Like, I didn't know this guy was a sage, or I would have changed his as well. Slade also is feeling stressed from having to talk to someone he doesn't know. This is always going to be harder for Slade, partly because of his loner trait, but also because he just doesn't have the innate abilities that Amara does. So how is your relationship with him? Not too bad. I don't know if they have enough relationship that he can ask him to start training him. He does need to learn a spell, so I'm going to have him teach him mischief magic. Hopefully he doesn't ignore him. So Amara is still practicing up here with Morgan. I mean, he's not looking at her, but I guess when you're a spellcaster, you know, your magical abilities make it so you don't have to look at somebody when you're training them. I don't know. I can't share my knowledge with just anyone. Let's get to know each other. Okay, I felt like he kind of was, but I mean, okay. I don't know how much whining and dining you require. So they're going to go stargaze. Hopefully that will get their friendship enough that he will agree to train him. I do think Amara ranks up a little bit faster because she has the ancient bloodline trait, but I'm not 100% sure. Also, it looks like she has some talent points, so I should probably look into those as well. And then now Morgan is training Amara. So this is a little better because he actually at least is facing her for this. Okay, so Slade, that does not look like you're learning magic from this sage. So stop that. Oh, he did learn a spell. He discovered a spell, Deliriate. So what does that mean? Let's take a look at that. Reach into a sim's head and scramble their thoughts. Oh my goodness. So I think I saw Simon here as well, who does the practical magic, and I don't know, that to me seems a little bit more useful than the mischief magic. So I'm going to have him come over and get to know Simon as well. Even though he hates this, he so hates getting to know all of these spellcasters that he has never met. Okay, so Slade did learn the Scrubberoo spell from Simon. Let's see if he can't get him to train him. I guess he can't do training yet, but maybe he can ask him to teach him a spell. And actually, I mean, this has been pretty productive for Slade. He has the Potion of Plentiful Needs, which is definitely useful. Amara is a spellcaster master! Yay! So I think there's only one more rank. Yeah, Virtuoso. So we're definitely going to be picking some talent points for her before we leave. She's thinking about babies, which isn't really good. Maybe she's thinking because she does have a baby nephew now because her brother, Angelo, just recently had a baby. Maybe that's why she's thinking about babies. So let's see what kind of talent points we can get her. I thought I had already picked some out for her. I guess I have. Experimenter and spellcaster socialite. So this one seems handy. Let's give her the discharge one. What is this? I don't think we have to worry about overcharge as much with Amara because she has the ancient bloodline trait, and I think they don't get that nearly as easily as some other Sims do. I don't really see her doing a lot of potions. Maybe we could do this one since she likes to read anyway. Now the hexproof one would be very handy. I don't know what motes are, but I guess we'll do that one. And then charge increases are reduced. And what is this? Protection from curses is definitely useful. And then I guess we'll do these because I think they're probably at least a little bit. Ooh, what's this? Sims can now cast long distances without having to move closer to the target. They no longer know who cast the spell on them, so they won't react negatively to you. That's definitely handy. And then we can give her this one. Okay, so we've got all of her. She's got a lot of perks, guys. I've been saving them for a long time and didn't even know. So Slade is over here reading, trying to see what he can find out about being born a spellcaster, because as I said before, he still doesn't know how he's a spellcaster. Amara has explained to him that it has to be somewhere in his family line, but he doesn't know who or how it came about. So he's trying to do some research to try to figure it out. He also doesn't know exactly how his mom died. So Simon walks over and wants to know what Slade is trying to read about. So Slade is telling Simon about how he's trying to do some research to figure out how he became a spellcaster, and also trying to kind of find out more information about his mom and possibly how she may have died. And during the conversation, Simon asks him, oh, you mean Bethany? To which Slade is quite surprised because he didn't know that Simon knew his mother. And I don't think that Simon knew that Slade didn't know that he knew her. And Simon also mentions that Bethany was a good friend of his. So a bit of a bomb has been dropped on Slade. And just as Slade learns that Simon knew his mother, Simon quickly figures out that Slade didn't know that he was a friend of Bethany's and makes a very quick exit. Which is fine because these two are both hungry and tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and send them both home. So over breakfast, Slade is recapping with Amara what he learned in the realm about his mother and about Simon having been friends with her. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it off here, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this first episode, and also let me know how you think the whole story goes with Simon and how he knows Slade's mom. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you'd like to see more. Don't forget to drop a comment below. I always love hearing what you have to say. It honestly makes my day. And I'll see you later. Bye.